Hi guys, Thogrey here for a new video. In this video we will talk about solo shuffle, what are my first impressions, good or bad, what are the changes between the PTR and the live servers, and actually talk about my real first impressions on the live servers. Of course, I'm not going to talk about if will it last or not, will people still find it popular in a few months in, because those things can only be decided by the player base. If the player base don't really want to spend time on solo shuffle, it's kind of a shame, but I can understand since I'm going to talk about the bad points. But let's discuss about it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about solo shuffle. I'm actually super interested to know what your opinion is about this game mode. I am a PvP fan. You can put me in a 1v1 situation, 1v2, 1v3, 3v3, 2v2, 10v10, 6v6. I'm still going to enjoy my time since it is actually the only thing I'm doing on World of Warcraft or in any MMO. Like I played Lost Ark, but really I'm not even doing any dungeon, any abyssal dungeons, nothing. I'm only doing PvP. And yeah, it's kind of stale since in World of Warcraft you have a lot more death into PvP, but I'm going to discuss about it in a future video. For now, let's discuss about solo shuffle. What is my opinion? You'll see some background footage while I'm talking. Of course, you can always put me on the background, cook some meals, do whatever you want, and still enjoy your time and listen to my insights about solo shuffle. A little bit of background. Last season I was 2200 in 2v2 with my Warlock. I played mostly Affliction, although it wasn't that fun. I still enjoy the Warlock class. I was also duelist, so 2100 in 3s, which was a lot more fun than 2s, let's be honest. But I didn't really push that much 3s, and I think this season I will aim for Glad, so now you know a little bit of my experience. I still think World of Warcraft is a fantastic PvP game, and what World of Warcraft actually lacks is solo queue. In every MOBA game, in every actual FPS game, or actually PvP games, because MMOs are not the only game genre where you have PvP action. Actually, every game that has some PvP action is a PvP game, like Warzone, League of Legends, Dota, CSGO, Valorant, whatever, you know? Those are PvP games, and for me it is actually a great PvP game. But what it lacks is actual good solo queue. In my opinion, I wouldn't never have done solo shuffle. I never had the imagination to put out solo shuffle, but it came out right. It needs a little bit of tuning, especially with gear, because you are actually super in a disadvantage, super colossal when you are facing versus better geared players. Now with my Warlock, I am 258 eye level PvP eye level, and for me it's a breeze since I have great gear. But when I'm facing like a 230 eye level mage, it is quite easy to kill him, to face him, to actually focus someone. And then you talk with your teammates, say focus the mage, he has no gear, and every time they will end up with like 0 wins. Because it is easy. People notice on health, people notice in skills, like the weakest link. And that's the problem with solo queue in World of Warcraft. It is not the best representation of skill, since actually gear matters the most in solo queue, even more than 3v3 and 2v2. In 2v2 and 3v3 you can coordinate a lot of things. You can make your weakest link still a strong link just because of the CC chains or the defensives that they can pull out, the peeling that they can have, maybe the damage, extra damage that they can provide. Like RMP is not really a gear based comp, in my opinion. Not the same as a TSG comp, for example. A TSG comp with 230 eye level and a TSG comp with duelist gear, those two are like far away from each other, I would say. While an RMP they kill while doing setups. If they are setuping correctly, the damage will follow regardless, because the healer will not be able to heal. But it's the same with solo queue. Solo queue, there is no setup. Frankly, if there is a survival hunter in our team and they can land a trap, and the trap has a duration of 7 seconds, and it lasts those 7 seconds, I would just do a slow clap, because it doesn't happen that often. People just break CC all the time. They don't see a polymorph, they don't see a fear, they don't see a trap, and they say to themselves like, I'm going to hit that guy because it is free damage that you can provide, while it is super incorrect in arenas. So that is a bad thing about solo queue. They need to actually have gear on par. I don't like templates, I don't like Legion. I like to have gear matter, but I think in solo queue it should be the only mode where gear should not matter at all. It should not. So it should be scaled somehow, some way, not busted scale like BFA, but just scale. I would do that. For 3s and 2s, for me, gear should a little bit matter because it stays an MMO. I know that people asks for tournament realms. I'm also a advocate for tournament realms, but it will never happen for World of Warcraft. So you need to see it. Either it's a MMO, either it's a PvP MOBA game. If it's a PvP MOBA game, then let's do it without gearing mattering. But I think the participation of PvP will be a lot lower because people are just craving on those power spikes. People crave to do 30k damage and someone else 10k just because of the gear difference. They know they need to actually grind and get rewarded. And if you're not going to get rewarded, people will just disconnect and stop playing. So that's my opinion about PvP in World of Warcraft. In Solo Shuffle, negatives, gear matters too much. In comparison with other modes, I would say if it's 1v1, it would be even less of a gear disparament, because again, you have only one overgeared guy in front of you. Now if you are like undergeared and you face like 5 other overgeared players, mostly they will say, okay, let's focus him and obliterate him from space, you know? So that should be fixed. The other negative, I'm going to start about the negatives because I'll have also a lot of positives. The second negative is the rewards are good, but they are not on par with 2s or 3s or even RBGs. So someone will probably only do Solo Shuffle just because of fun. I did like around 10 games of Solo Shuffle and really it is super fun. I like it. I also like the weeklies, so you have like 2, I think those are weeklies. I hope they are weeklies. I'm going to rectify it in 1 week time if it's not a weekly. But if it's a weekly, 2 actual quests to have honor and conquest is actually nice. But the rewards in general are not that good. Like you will not be able to spam for 1 week of Solo Shuffle and have the same output as a BG spam or a RBG spam. I will compare it to RBGs because a lot of people play RBGs for the easy conquest and easy rating, but in Solo Shuffle you don't have rating, so actually you will just farm conquest and mostly honor, but you will not progress your character. While if you're playing arenas, okay, you might lose a lot, but over time you will progress in ranks, and so you can progress in eye level. So I feel like for now Solo Shuffle is more of a test period, and I hope in 9.2.5 they will pull the trigger and say, here is your solo queue, here's your rating. You have a rating for healers and a rating for DPS. So if you're a paladin and you're playing protection, holy paladin, you get your own rating. If you go for retribution paladin, you have another rating. That's what I would want. And if you're a warlock, then those 3 specs are 1 rating. But you know where I'm from, where I'm coming from, you know. That would be great. That would be sensational. But I'll speak about maybe improvements or what they could change in another video, because I don't want to make it a 30-minute video. Now let's talk about positives. So I find it super fun. It is maybe the most fun I had on World of Warcraft since probably December. I've become to appreciate a bit more of World of Warcraft. But since December, it was a bit stale, you know? So Solo Shuffle kicks the ant nest, and actually it feels super good to actually just, you have no friends online, you don't really want to search any, like, I would say nobodies on the group finder. You don't want to have the hassle of people leaving, people going on Discord and not coming on Discord. Those things, like, instead of playing RBGs for honor spam, you can just do Solo Shuffle, and Solo Shuffle, the honor is actually super good. You can actually spam Solo Shuffles if you want to improve your eye levels, because you get, like, I won 1, like I have, like with my Warlock I had like 6 rounds won, which is quite rare for a Warlock for me, because people tend to go on you all the time, and your healer can't really respond to it because they don't really are on voice with you. So I think Warlock is one of the worst classes on Solo Shuffle, but that's not a problem. It was super fun, and at the end of the day I still had 1200 honor gained after the Solo Shuffle, which is gigantic. It is actually insane. It's more than a BG, and it's actually fun. It's different. So, and you also have those 2 weeklies, which gives you 1000 honor extra plus conquest. I feel like it's alright to spam for honor gains. You can see it as a BG spam. Again, those negatives would be, it's not ranked, so the actual commitment that you have on Solo Shuffle is really low. So if you don't want to play versus a certain comp, or you can basically say I give up. You still play, but you're not going to force yourself to win a game that you think it's not winnable, for example. Yeah. So those are my biggest positives and negatives of Solo Shuffle. Fun. Has I think it's insane honor grind for me, because you actually gain a lot of honor. The weeklies are very good if those are weeklies, so I'm going to go in the comment below, write it down if it's a weekly or not in 1 week time. If it's not a weekly, then it's terrible, then they need to change it. They need to put extra quests, I don't care, but if it's not a weekly, then it's terrible. If it's a weekly, it's actually alright. It's alright. So, in the negatives, it's not ranked, and the gear matters too much in solo queue, because purely the lack of coordination makes gear actually more important than the skill. You can still skill on people. You can still like wreck people because of your knowledge of the game, but it is lesser on a few classes. Like, for example, a mage that has no gear, or a warrior without gear. Like, even a warrior without gear, they're getting obliterated every game. Or people that had no legendaries or anything. It's actually terrible to play against and to play with. To play against, like, you feel like rounds are going for 10 seconds and then you're back in the queue. And also it doesn't really improve player commitment, because people just will not like to actually play in a disadvantage, because it's human nature. You don't really want to lose all the time, especially when the carrot is not that big. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you agree. You can also disagree with me. Please let me know in the comment below if you actually agree or disagree with what I said. I think it's not really a big controversial discussion that I had. I think a lot of people will be actually agree with me. But if you disagree or agree, please let me know in the comments below. I appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel. It's actually super hard to be consistent with a wife and with a kid plus work, but I try to up my game in consistency and make, of course, guides and PvP commentaries, tips. I will try to make it in the future. Our next video will probably be a Warlock guide, since I'm playing mostly Warlock, but I've decided also my mains would be a DK, Assassination Rogue, and probably also Enhancement Shaman. So we will make guides about it, we will try to push out rating, and of course let me know what you are going to main for next season, and I'm excited to see each other for arenas, and yeah, you will lose if you face versus me. You're going to get death bolted with dots. Yeah. Alright, thank you for watching, have a great day, bye.